Hey guys, welcome back, Attack. I'm Skylar Shore, and I'm really enthusiastic to bring you my first impression of the new free-to-play MOBA on mobile devices, Vainglory. Now, usually I would say that this is a new light MOBA, but the fact that this MOBA game on mobile devices actually competes with some desktop MOBA has me kind of reconsidering that. I mean, it is a light MOBA because it is on mobile devices, but really, you're getting a full MOBA experience. I mean, that's audio, visually, gameplay mechanics. Like, the item shop is a full-blown item shop. I mean, it at least competes with Dawngate's item shop. And then the graphics look really good. There's actually some MOBA that I'm playing right now that graphically don't compete with this game. And let's talk about skill shots. Let's talk about mechanics. You have a 0 turn rate. Actually, I think it's almost like negative turn rates, where you can perfectly kite just like you can in League of Legends. And maybe even a little bit better because you can actually use 2 fingers and do that real quick. But yes, you do have skill shots galore, leaps, and all that good crazy stuff. Really interesting character designs and kits. And overall, there's a lot to talk about, so let's dig in. Let's do it. So first off, let's talk about what your first impressions are going to be. If you get into the game, you are going to see a couple tutorials, you're going to see the graphics, you're going to see the UI. Overall, you are presented a very, I guess, a clean game. You're going to see this game and then you're going to say, yes, it looks very well done, highly polished. It looks like a AAA MOBA game for mobile devices, and you would not be wrong. The tutorial is very well done and explains the game, and yes, it actually does have unique mechanics. Of course, we're going to go over that. But first of all, you are going to go into the game, and you are going to find that the experience is intuitive, but you're going to instantly feel a little bit discomfort, because there is some mechanics to the game. It is a full-blown MOBA, it is going to be competitive, so you're going to find that you won't probably be able to play with your thumbs. The best way to actually play this game is to have a tablet with a larger screen. You know, the larger the better, the more accurate you can be. And then to actually lay it on your table and then use your hands like that. Individually, you're going to use your index fingers, and that's how it's suggested to play. Essentially, that's how you're going to want to play. If you try to play with your thumbs, you're not going to be accurate enough, and if you have a tablet, you might not even be able to reach everywhere with your thumbs. So yeah, you are going to have a little bit discomfort with this game, but once you start to get into the game, start learning its mechanics and everything, and especially if you're a MOBA veteran like me, then you're going to fall in love with the game, because even though it is a touch game, even though it's a tablet game, it still has a really unique game feel that you're not going to get anywhere else, and I think you're going to like it. You just got to get past that first little speed bump. But yeah, once we get you started in getting into the game, then you're going to find a lot of characters. You're going to start learning their kits, and you're going to see that there's actually some uniquity to that. I could definitely see some inspiration from Dota 2, from League of Legends, but overall, you know, their designs, they are cartoony, they are silly, comical, I guess you could say. But their kits and everything, I think is very, I guess, synergistic. You know, there's a plant person, he can actually create little plants on the ground, and they can be destroyed, so it kind of reminds me of Sylvanas from Smite, or also even Bard from League of Legends. But these plants can be summoned and uprooted, and then they become like little pets, and it's, overall, that's like interesting aesthetic, and there's some design philosophies that I see from other characters, but it's made wholly anew in this nice package, and I kind of see that for every individual character. Now, some characters are going to be more fun than others, especially depending on your play preference, but overall, I found that these guys are pretty cool. Definitely unique enough to get me interested in the game. And there's some characters, like the plant character, I thought he was silly looking, I wasn't going to play him. I ended up playing him, ended up being my favorite character. Really surprising stuff there. So yeah, for League of Legends, I go to play because I like Yasuo, I like Thresh. I go play Smite because I like Thanatos, I like people that can fly in the air and jump all over the place, Serket. And I go play Dota so that I can play really strategic characters, like Earth Spirit or Meepo. And satisfying enough, I can say that a couple characters on this game are drawing me to it. Though I think it goes without saying that there isn't going to be any Meepo in this game, I still think that these characters are going to, I guess, kind of fill a niche that you wouldn't get anywhere else. But with those characters aside, let us talk about the map, where these characters reside and fight in. Okay, so it is one lane, and normally that definitely signifies light status, but the difference is that this one lane is actually not the focus of the game. It's not like ARAM. There's actually a very large jungle, and this kind of reminds me of Dawngate. Dawngate only had 2 lanes, but it had actually a pretty big map if you consider its whole jungle. So this game is kind of the same. It does have a lane, but it's not the focus. It's actually really more of a balance. You're going to be ducking in and out of the lane. You might have one single laner, but for the most part, it kind of seems like double jungle is the meta, which is really weird, especially if you're coming from League of Legends. Now, the objectives in the map are also very interesting. You have these mining creatures, and you need to vanquish them in order to actually get gold from them, the resource gathering. Also, there's one large monster creep in the center, and once you kill it enough times, or after enough time has passed, it'll actually transform, and then you will get a freaking kraken of a monster. And then the team that gets this this will actually have that Kraken fight through the lane for them. So it's really important to control the jungle. It's like the most important thing. A couple of little tiny small details that actually make a big impact is that this game map has bushes, really big bushes. So it's pretty easy to go in and get ganks, though it is just one lane, so might be a little bit predictable. Balance that with some bushes. And turrets, this is another niche factor. Turrets can actually be damaged by abilities. They don't have ammo, but you can damage them with abilities, so that's why some characters are better at sieging than others. And lastly, I want to commend the developers for this one last little thing that they did to change the gameplay, which I think is actually hugely impactful, and that's changing up the spawns. Instead of them being behind the objective, you actually are to the side, so whenever you are assaulting an enemy base, they kind of spawn behind you, which is really good for them, and it helps them drive you off, or vice versa, and it just makes the games a little bit more exciting. I'd like to add on, if you get an ace, your minions are actually stronger, so instead of having an inhibitor or some sort of system like that, like barracks, you can potentially just play team deathmatch for a minute, get a triple kill, and then go on and push the base. There are a couple of different strategies which you would not have in normal other mobile games, other light MOBAs. Pretty much other than that, those little tiny niche little tiny changes, for the most part, it seems like they borrow from a couple of different MOBAs, put it into their own mobile package, and then they got some ribbons on it. The graphics is amazing, really cute characters, overall just a really well done presentation, and I'm having a lot of fun with the game all the way in and out. I think it looks great, I think it's easy to share, it looks like a game that anybody can get into, E for everyone maybe. And yeah, I think it does have a skill cap, but also, it's not too hard to get into. It's no Dota 2. That could be good, that could be bad, depending on where you are coming from, but for me, I'm having fun, and I hope you do too. I'm Skyland Shore with Attack Gaming. Like and subscribe so that you can stay notified, and please come back, Attack. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Welcome back, Attack. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 free-to-play MMOs for this year, for 2015, and I think across all the genres for free-to-plays, we've seen so much innovation in MOBAs, in MMOs, in card games. We've seen so many new things this past year, and hopefully, maybe, probably so, 2015 is going to be just as exciting.